Okay, welcome. This is exciting. So whether you're joining us or in 2021 here or whenever beyond now, beyond this year, but this is going to be from the very beginning. Okay, so if you've played bridge before, you can certainly skip this lesson and take a look at what lesson you want to jump in at. But today is just going to be about an introduction to the basic basics. Okay, so this is lesson one. This is for if you haven't played bridge at all. Okay, and we're going to go through lesson by lesson and take you through the process. So I refer to lesson one. I teach a lot live, but this is now online as we've moved to that. I teach from the book Beginning Bridge Using 2/1 by Jim Ricker. All right. It's a self published book, and you can get it on Amazon. I'll have a link for you to get it there. You can just search for it yourself online. Um, and if you want to follow along lesson by lesson, this is be the book I'm teaching from. He is working on an updated version of the same book, so I'm not sure if the chapters will stay exactly the same or not, but they probably will. I think he's just editing it and up and fine tuning a little bit. So, Beginning Bridge Using 2/1 by Jim Ricker is the book I teach from, and that would be excellent for you to go out and order that, and so you can follow along. So just a little bit about me. Okay. I kind of joke that it all started for me at the bridge table because my parents met at the bridge table. Um, they were in bridge you can go to a game, and if you don't have a partner, you kind of can pair up with people that are also there without a partner. And this is how they met. Turned out my mom actually happened to be engaged at the time to someone else, so this was kind of interesting in and of itself. But they became close, and eventually, obviously, broke off the other engagement and married my dad. So I haven't been playing, my whole life, but I definitely picked it up in high school. Played some in college, introduced my now wife to the game. We certainly played some, and then lots and lots of kids. We have 5 boys, and then picked it back up kind of as we could time wise. And then it became a really full career for me about 5 years ago. So I teach, play, direct, just do whatever I can within the game to help grow the game and be a part of the game. So enough about me. The game itself has a huge appeal, not only locally, internationally. It really, back in the day, we'll call it um, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. It's just what people did. You played bridge. It was Sports Illustrated articles, TV shows when there was TV back then. It was really the thing to do. It's a great game. If you've not played before, give it a chance. If you like a challenge, if you like games, if you and really we'll talk about it a little bit later about partnership. There's offense, there's defense, there's the communication angle. There's just so much to the game, and it's along the lines of one of those things. The more you learn about the game, you realize the less you know. So there's never a shortage of a challenge in this game. So the appeal of the game is a lot of those different things. We tend to be better at some of those aspects of the game than others, tend to maybe get frustrated with some of those aspects more of the game than others, but the appeal of the game is so widespread because there's so much to it. Okay. And then along those same lines, the next point, because there's so much to it, be patient with yourself. Enjoy the journey. Don't beat yourself up if you because I will tell you for sure, unequivocally, you will make a mistake of something you should know already. So you will do those things, and obviously, we hope to learn from those mistakes and we don't do them again. The game itself is moved, primarily online, from last year with the pandemic. Um, but it can be done. Typically used to be at the kitchen table, but online you can play all the time. You can play with people from all over the world at any point in time. You can connect up with long lost relatives or friends and play, or even make friends online, and then hopefully at some point you may be able to visit each other or do different things. So it's an international game with an international appeal, but also locally. There's games going on all the time. Around here you can find a game, within 25 miles every day, most nights, for ACBL duplicate games, but then every day, at different centers, at different, at different communities, and just all the time people are playing. So there's a variety of different games for different abilities, different levels. It's primarily played socially, so that's just, some friends getting together to play, however you want to do it. But there's also, if you want to take it to a tournament level per se, there's international tournaments, there's local tournaments, national tournaments. Cruise ships are huge for, you can have games or tournaments online. You can have lesson or on cruise ships, or online. You can do so you can travel with bridge. You can, just the ways to play and do it are boundless and endless. Okay, so where you take it or not take it is completely up to you. But hopefully you will like the game, and at least do enough to find out whether you like it or not. Okay, so first of all, it's a card game. You use all 52 cards. Okay, so we don't, in bridge you don't include the jokers. Okay, the order of suits for bridge um, kind of was set up alphabetically at the lowest. So clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades, and then bridge will have a no trump, which is basically just the highest card wins. Okay, but if you've played a trump game before, bridge does bring that into the cards, into the meld. Um, and so, like, let's say we end up in a heart contract. Um, if you don't have a heart, you can trump with a heart and potentially win the trick if there isn't anybody else that's out in the same hand. So again, 52 cards, 4 suits, and then bridge goes from the 2 up to the ace. So the ace is the highest one in the suit, and there's 13 cards in each suit, 52 cards total. Bridge is a partnership game. 4 people or a 1 person and 3 robots, or any kind of combination of robots that you might play now. And so the person that is your partner is the person sitting across from you, and vice versa. The person the other person's partner sitting across from them. It's a partnership game, and you're looking to do the way I kind of word all the time in lessons is you're trying to do the best you can with your 26 cards between the two of you. You and your partner, you each get 13 cards. It's dealt out. All the cards are dealt out, or if on mine, it just happens automatically. But you'd shuffle them and play them out, and your partner is the person playing across from you. What we term as bidding, it is like in some card games where you communicate with each other, okay, to determine, and the opponents, you kind of determine who thinks they can get the most tricks. All right. So bidding is about communicating between you and your partner, and you can't look at each other's cards. You're holding them in front of you, like you're holding them back, so you can't see partner's cards, but you try to communicate with partner, and you use it by bidding. Okay, so for example, there's 52 cards, like I said. So, and everybody plays to each trick. We call each time you play to each trick. Okay, and so there's 4 cards in each trick, so there's 13 tricks total, because you play all the cards out each time, and there's 13 tricks total. Okay, so and so when you're done with so whoever set up the game as far as scoring goes, it basically said, if you're going to bid, we want you to say that you're at least going to get 7 of the 13 tricks. So whoever set it up to say that 7 is going to be 1. So whatever number of tricks, whatever we bid, you take away the 6, and that's the number of tricks that you think you're going to get. So for example, there's a bidding box that if you do, that you can use to show, and here it is, okay, if you can see it up in the corner there. But so if I were to bid 1 heart, let's say, if I were to tell partner hearts, I would be telling partner I have some good cards, and my longest suit is hearts. Okay, we'll get into more detail to exactly what that means. Okay, and partner might say, "Oh, that's good with me," or they might not. They may say it's not. They might say, "Well, I got some points too, and I have some spades." So then we talk back and forth. Okay, and let's say that we end up in four hearts. Okay, so we've ended up in four hearts. We decided that we think we can get 10 tricks with hearts as the trump suit. All right. So where I get the four is the the 13 with six. So we have four. We're going to get 10 of the 13 tricks. Okay. And where that comes into play is that so they'll lead, which is the way it starts. Whoever ends up with a contract, the opponents will lead. Okay. And I'll show you this when we play a hand, as far as how the cards would work. But we're going to say that we're going to get 10 of the 13 tricks. And the way the game is scored, there's different bonuses for the more that we say that we're going to do, and then if we actually do it or not. So you try to communicate to get yourself to the right level. Again, that'll be talked about in every lesson from here on going forward. But bidding is about that communication part with partner. How many tricks do we think we can get? And what's our trump suit? Or if we don't have a good trump suit together, we may end up with no trump again, which is then there's not a trump, and we just go by highest card wins. Okay, so if you are playing not online, there would be a table where the cards go, a bidding box, and really all you really need is a table and 52 cards, and you can play. Okay, a full deck. But for the most part, we're going to play with these lessons. This is going to be a self-study. You go along, go at your own pace, and go along. We're going to play on Bridgebase Online, which we're going to go into that in a little bit here. Okay. Actually, let's go into it now. All right. So Bridgebase Online is free. Okay. So just I'll put a link in below, but bridgebase.com. Okay. And then you'll click on the register. You come up with your own username. I picked Mokandad for myself, a password, email, and then whether you want to get some of their publications or not. Okay, so that's what you do. And then what I want you to start out with in this first lesson is from the home page. Okay, I want you to go to solitaire. All right, this is at the home page of Bridgebase Online, solitaire, and then I want you to pick Bridgemaster. And all this will be is helping you to learn how to play. Okay. So go ahead and do Bridgemaster, beginner, A1, and there it goes. Okay, so this is the four people. Again, we're playing with three robots now, and they did the bidding for us. So it ended up in 3 no trump. All right, I'll show you that again. So we bid collectively, partner open, 2 no trump, 3 no trump, and we ended up in 3 no trump. Okay. So if you ever need to look at the bidding, you can just click on that bidding box and you click on it to make it go away. So what happens in bridge is that whoever started it, okay, so I started the no trump down here, so I'm the one that becomes the declarer. So this is kind of an interesting term, and this isn't derogatory, but these actual cards, if you're playing live, will be face up for everyone to see after the opening lead is on the table. So not only can I see these cards, but so can my opponents. All right. So the dummy comes face down on the table, and there they are. And wherever it's gold is for who we're supposed to play, because this is the dummy and I'm the declarer. I actually pick the cards to be played from the dummy when it's their turn. When you're playing, this would be a time for you to take a break. If you were the dummy, some people call it, I'm the drink lady. They go get drinks. It used to be cigarettes, whatever. So whatever it would be. But if you're the dummy, so your partner is the declarer. Okay, that's the terms that we use. You actually will you'll take a break and just be able to sit back and watch. So how this works is you will. I want you to just play through these beginning hands just to get a feel for how the game is played. Okay, so how this works, we'll go ahead and play a couple tricks. You come up with your plan, how you're going to make it, and they're okay. So basically, that's our one spade trick that we're going to get. all right? And we have to get 3 no trump is what we settled upon. So the 6 plus 3 is 9. So we're saying we can get 9 tricks in 3 no trump. So we've got 1. I can see 4 in the club trick, in the club suit, that's 5. 2 in the heart trick, that's 6, 7, 8, 9 diamonds. So I just basically need to take it and run here. And so I would pick card by card and go through it until we're eventually done. All right. So if you're, and if you, when you're going through and playing these, if you ever get stuck, you can do show a solution and it'll tell you, you know, kind of frame by frame how you would go about it if you get stuck. It will, interestingly enough, if it will change around, you have to play it right to be able to make it. Okay. So if you do get stuck, I encourage you to keep trying, but if you do get stuck, go ahead and click on show solution. And then if you need, you know, when you're done with the one, you can go on to steal and the next one comes up. So go through these beginning Bridgemaster hands, and I'm going to leave that. I don't suggest you go too far on these, as they get a little obscure, you know, as you get down here. So I would just focus on beginner and then maybe dive into intermediate depending on your confidence level, but it'll go through a lot of the different play techniques that we'll talk about and things like that. So that's how it's played. Okay. And online, you obviously don't have to worry about shuffling or dealing or any of that kind of stuff. So it'll be, so just remember, if this is the first time for you to play, that if the position is highlighted in gold or, you know, that yellow type of color, it's that person's turn to play. And if you're the declarer, you play for the dummies. So you're actually playing out of 2 hands. So hopefully you can get through those and get a little bit of feel for the game. Okay. So again, Bridge Base Online is free, and we'll want you to have you do that. So we have the declarer, the dummy, and the people that we're playing against are the 2 defenders or opponents. Okay. As we were going through there, it plays clockwise, so you go in order each time by whoever wins the trick. I didn't say this, leads the next trick. So if you win a trick, offense or defense, you're the lead to the next trick. So what happened there was on the West was on lead, East won the trick with the ace of spades, and then they were leading again, and they led back a spade to partner. Okay. So you play clockwise, and then you go trick by trick. It keeps track of the tricks for you until you're done with all 13 tricks. Okay. So no trump is if you were to go the bidding, like that first hand that we had there. It was no trump. So there isn't any trumps that are going to happen. So it was just highest card win. Whatever was led, whatever the highest one of that one that was played is going to win the trick. If what was led and everybody else was out, that one would win. Okay, so that's a way to set up tricks, actually, is to try to get the opponents out of a suit. So no trump is when you've decided that there's not going to be a trump suit and you work on establishing long suits. All right, trumps, on the other hand, you normally are going to have most of the trumps. If you bid properly, you should have more than the opponents. And you'll normally get rid of their trumps, and then you kind of work on setting up your suits. There's certainly different lines of play and different things that you'll want to do. But typically in a trump contract, you try to get rid of theirs, and then you try to work on setting up other suits. Okay. So just kind of to summarize, we went through how to play a hand, you know, bridge table or bridge, you know, a bridge online hand. Okay. It's all done for you. Okay. We talked about trumps. This is, if you haven't played a trump card game, this is a little bit tough for people, but hopefully you have, or you can get up to speed on that. But basically, you always have to follow suit in bridge if you have one, if you have a card in that suit. But if you don't have one, you can trump it, even with a lowly 2. So I talked about hearts being the trump. If you're out of that suit and they led the ace of clubs and hearts are trump and you don't have any clubs, you can trump it with a 2 and actually win the trick. All right. So trumps become powerful. And again, you communicate in that bidding process to find out who has the long suits and how high we should be. Okay. So again, I'm excited. You've decided to take on this journey. Please subscribe. like and share these. We put these, I put these on YouTube. I'm not a big YouTuber, so YouTube doesn't pay me. um, and who knows, I guess, where this might go. But anyway, so be sure to like and share with other people so other people can find out about this great game, learn this game with you. It's great to have buddies to do it along the way with, because you can play as a partnership or four of you, however you want to do it. It's a lot of fun. And subscribe so when the next video is out, you'll know, you'll get a notification of when it's out there. If you have any questions, certainly leave those below. I will put in there your self-study program for how to go about this on your own. But again, this is the book that I teach from, the Jim Ricker book, Beginning Bridge Using 2/1. And it starts from the very beginning, which is great. And it takes you through step by step. And then we'll supplement that with these videos, you playing online, and taking it from there. So thanks for joining me. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time for lesson 2.